Today, we're going to dive into a massive challenge in the world of AI. How do we build an artificial intelligence that doesn't just talk, but actually remembers? One that makes our conversations smarter, way more efficient, and a whole lot less forgetful. I mean, we've all been there, right? You're in the middle of a really detailed chat with an AI. You ask a simple follow-up question, and nothing. It's like a blank stare. You have to repeat yourself, feed it info you just gave it. It's super frustrating. But it turns out there's a much, much better way to do things. And this right here, this is the whole problem in a nutshell. On the left, you've got your typical conversation history. It's long, it's messy, and it's a real pain for an AI to reprocess every single time. But then, look at the right. You've got a smart summary. It's clean, it's to the point, and it pulls out only the crucial information. Now that's the goal. So here's the big insight. The issue isn't really the AI's memory capacity. It's not like it's running out of space. The problem is how we're asking it to use that memory. So the fix isn't a bigger hard drive. It's a completely different and, frankly, much smarter strategy. Okay, so let's really dig into that core problem, that inefficiency. What's actually happening under the hood that makes these long conversations so clunky and slow for an AI? Well, imagine you had to reread an entire novel from page 1 just to remember a minor character's name from chapter 3. That's pretty much what we've been making AIs do. Every time you send a new message, they have to go back and reprocess the entire chat history from the very beginning. This just burns through a massive amount of computing power, which makes the whole thing incredibly slow and, you guessed it, really expensive. So, if forcing the AI to reread everything is the problem, what's the answer? It's actually pretty simple. We teach it how to take smart notes. We give it an intelligent, real-time strategy for remembering what matters. And this solution has a name, the summary strategy. At its core, it's a method for creating these super condensed summaries of a conversation as it's happening. It's specifically designed to pull out only the important stuff, the key topics, any tasks or action items, and the big decisions that get made along the way. And the main benefit here is that the AI can finally maintain context. By creating this high-level overview on the fly, it's basically giving itself a set of Cliff's notes for your conversation. So at any point, it can just glance back at its notes to remember the big picture. It never loses the plot. So how does this smart note taker actually work? Well, it uses this really clever two-tiered system. It's all about separating the big picture from the latest news. Let's take a look at the two kinds of summaries it creates. First up, you have the global summary. The best way to think about this is like the main objective you write on a whiteboard at the start of a big meeting. It's short, it's high level, and it's all about the main task and what's needed to get it done. This keeps the AI totally anchored to the overall goal. And then you have the delta summary. In math and science, delta just means change. And that's exactly what this is. This summary captures only the new information from the most recent exchange. It doesn't repeat old history. So if the global summary is the objective on the whiteboard, the delta summaries are all the new action items and decisions you jot down as the meeting goes on. So this creates a really elegant little loop. Here's how it works. A new message comes in. First, the AI glances at its whiteboard. That's the global summary, just to get its bearings. Then it jots down a quick note about what was just said. That's the new delta summary. And finally, it asks itself a really important question. Hey, does this new info change our main objective? If so, it updates the whiteboard. It's a simple, smart, and continuous process. Okay, so the AI has these two types of notes, global and delta. But how are they actually structured so that they're useful? Because it turns out the format of the notes is just as important as what's in them. And the key word here is organization. We're not just talking about creating a messy block of text. The whole point is to structure the output so the AI can read and understand it instantly, almost like it's querying a perfectly organized database of your conversation. This system does this using a format called XML, which, don't worry, is just a way to use simple tags to label information. The best analogy is creating digital file folders. So if you're talking about an order status and then you suddenly switch to planning a new project, the AI can wrap each summary in a little tag like topic name order status. This basically acts like a subject heading, keeping all the different conversational threads neatly organized and super easy to find later on. All right, let's bring this all home. We've got this awesome strategy for creating organized, real-time notes for an AI. So what? What's the actual real-world payoff here? Well, it really boils down to 3 huge wins. First, the AI maintains context perfectly. It can instantly recall facts from way earlier in a long conversation. Second, the whole process is way more efficient, which saves a ton of time and resources. And most importantly for you and me, this all adds up to a much, much better user experience. It means no more repeating yourself to an AI that really should have been paying attention. Let's look at a real example, say from a customer support chat. The summary is simple, it's direct, and it captures the one key event that mattered. A problem came up and a replacement was started. That's it. The AI now has this fact logged forever, and it will not forget it. And this works for any kind of conversation, not just customer service. You could be in a project planning meeting, and the summary can capture a crucial decision like this one. This one little sentence ensures the AI is always completely up to date on the project plan, and it never has to sift through hours of discussion to find that one key detail. And that brings us to a final, really interesting thought. A strategy like this basically turns an AI into a perfect listener, an infallible note-taker. But think about it. If an AI can summarize our words and intentions this effectively, what comes next? What new possibilities open up when our digital partners remember not just our last command, but the entire history and context of what we're actually trying to achieve? Now that is the really exciting question.